Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another speculation video. Because the 10th anniversary of The Sims 4 is next week. That's right, The Sims 4 has been going for nearly a decade. Yeah, a decade. No Sims game has been supported for that much time. And it's just so... wow, I never would have thought, especially at launch, that this game would have lasted nearly this long, or even half that time. But here we are in 2024, and the game originally released on September 2nd, 2014. So that 10th anniversary is happening next Monday. So we'll probably get an update on Tuesday, since that's usually when we get updates. So, what could we get for this 10th anniversary? Well, my expectations are very low, and it's not just to try and prevent myself from being disappointed, but just they don't really seem to care all that much about their anniversaries lately. I don't know what changed behind the scenes regarding that. I still remember for The Sims 4's 5th anniversary, which also happened to be around the time Realm of Magic was releasing, they released a pretty good update that featured configurable stairs and a bunch of build buy items. Some were about the game's 5th anniversary, so there's like some plumb bob designs on them. And then there was some Muslim inspired clothing and architecture. But then fast forward to the past couple of years and there's just way less going on. Like in 2022, I looked back at the patch notes, I thought there was at least something, but there were only bug fixes, nothing else at all. And then in 2023, the only noteworthy things were that we could finally filter by individual kits instead of it all being lumped into one kit's filter. So for example, we weren't able to just look for items from the Blooming Rooms kit. No, you'd have to do that while filtering all the other build buy kits that you currently have installed. And also Morgan Ember from Realm of Magic canonically going by they them pronouns in new saves made after that patch. So with those past couple years in mind, I'm not expecting much, even for it being a milestone year, the 10th anniversary. But I think we will get quite a few bug fixes, because one thing we do have this year that we didn't have in previous ones is the dedicated bug fixing team. And there are especially those issues that have popped up more recently with the pre-Lovestruck update. Like, they still haven't fixed all of those instances of that save error 123, and apparently error code 0 has also re-emerged, and a bunch of other things. Not all of them really big ones, but things like you can't find a few of the items that came with Lovestruck unless you just put in like a blank search in build by, or the ceiling lighting being broken, things like that. It would be nice at the bare minimum to be able to play The Sims 4 again without worrying about my saves corrupting or getting broken in some sort of fashion where the only way to really fix things is to start all over again. I definitely don't want to do that with my long-running save I've had ever since launch day. Dang, wow. That is funny to think that my save has also managed to survive this long with all the Let's Plays that I've done and just the playing I've done off camera in general too. Never would have thought it would have lasted this long. But it's not every day that you get to celebrate 10 years of something. So this is one case where, even though the game is still in a pretty buggy state, I would usually expect them to go more all out with things. Even a couple of nights ago, I had a dream that we got cars and they were tweeting all about it. So even my own dreams are betraying me here. But I'm still thinking, even if we did get something kind of cool and not just bug fixes, I don't think it'll be anything really huge on the scale of adding cars. Another reason I'm keeping my expectations low is because we've heard nothing from the usual leakers, such as Anadius, Thematically, Henford Hen, because let's face it, The Sims runs a very leaky ship. And as a Nintendo fan, I'm used to it being like, okay, it's a pretty mixed bag out there. Some leaks are very accurate, and some miss the mark by a lot. With Sims leaks, they're almost always right. It's so weird to me. So the fact that they haven't said anything about this update makes me think that the reason is that there's nothing really much to get excited about. But even officially, they haven't hyped up anything. I thought Friday would have been a really good chance to hype up a potential big anniversary update, but they ended up tweeting about the My Sims Cozy Bundle, which was not a bad tweet. They did answer a couple of burning questions because they did add some new characters in the later PC release because it was originally released on the Wii, and they are in fact updating the graphics. So they posted a couple of comparisons. One's in Create a Sim, and you can tell the character on the top in the Switch version looks sharper than in the Wii original. And there's a live mode comparison as well. And I feel, especially looking at the dock, you can tell like they've upped the saturation a bit and also updated the textures to look a bit better. So I'm glad they're doing that and not just leaving it exactly the same as the Wii original. But I don't want this video to just be 8 to 10 minutes of me saying, hey, don't get your expectations up for this anniversary because it's probably going to be a flop. I do want to talk about at least a couple of things that I think could happen. So, I think one thing that has a decent chance of happening is just revamping the flow of how you start out a new save. Because one of the most mind-boggling decisions to me with this game is that you can't simply play the Goths or any of the pre-made families right away. You have to make a new sim. So at the bare minimum, you have to just go with a randomly generated sim or just like a sim from your library, because there's a few in there. Pick out first and last names, pick out the traits and the aspiration, hit the check mark, choose a season to start out in if you have the season's expansion pack, move them into a house, go through that loading screen, the da-da-da-da-da, and then once you're loaded into their house, then you can go to Manage Worlds and choose the Goths or whoever else. And that just, why? Why doesn't it just start out in Manage Worlds on the map screen? So from there, you can choose to play the Goths or make your own sim if you want to start out with your own sim. The reason I bring up this idea in particular is I think it would be a very logical one to introduce alongside the 10th anniversary. It's definitely something that people have wanted for quite a while, but with an anniversary like this, then you tend to think back to the beginning of the game, and then it's like, oh yeah, we should revamp how the beginning of the game works. So we could get that updated. Maybe they'll have some kind of new tutorial, maybe a new main menu screen. Yeah, I know. The Sims community loves their main menu screen updates. No, just kidding. It's definitely not something I want that much at all, but something I could still imagine happening anyways. I mean, if they did something kind of similar to Thematically's main menu mod where it has randomized backgrounds and there's a lot less ads, but it still have some kind of a newsfeed so that it is easy to still keep even the most casual Sims 4 players in the loop of what's going on, whether it be a laundry list or a new patch that came out or a new pack that was just announced. I think that still makes sense to have on the main menu, but just make it look a lot nicer. I could also imagine us getting a Sims Delivery Express drop with a couple items, including a hot tub to make fun of the one they released for free on the 20th anniversary of the Sims franchise, and not just the Sims 4, and everyone hating that and making fun of it, though I'd be okay with not getting a hot tub in that particular case. I also think there's a good chance they could be putting new merch on their merch store. I know we just got that Lovestruck inspired merch a few weeks ago, but I just feel like this is something they likely would not pass the chance on, to have like some t-shirts saying happy 10th anniversary Sims 4 and Simlish or something along those lines. I don't know. Just something about the 10th anniversary I feel like they would do, because then they could also promote that as like a limited time thing. You can only get it this time, and then once it's sold out, it is gone for good. Oh right, I can't believe I almost forgot. We are due for a new roadmap very soon, because the current one, Season of Love, ends at the end of August, which is now. So then next week for the anniversary, that would be a very good time to put out that roadmap. So it'd have some kind of theme to it. I think it'll be 2 kits and 1 expansion pack again, if we're really getting a Death expansion pack this fall. And if that theme is true, then I think the roadmap theme will be darker than what we usually get. That's it for now, so feel free to let me know your predictions for next week in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!